Andrew writes in and says, Beyond.
Beyond.
I recently platinumed Second Son and am going through the paper trail as it's released. However, I'm one of those poor university students that has to trade in their games to get a new one. My question is, how soon is too soon to trade in the game? Taking into account that I've already got the platinum and cannot see myself playing the story again.
How soon is too soon?
Yeah.
And if you want your money back, you do it as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
if he's
yeah.
talking about the ramifications of what this means for the studio, it doesn't matter until the game's out of print. It's going to affect them the same way.
Sure, I mean,
right?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You figure too soon, if you're worried about the studio, and we always talk about this, right? This is the problem with used games. You buy used games, it doesn't go to the new game doesn't get sold. Sony thinks they aren't selling as much games. They lower the expectations for Infamous, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then in the end, this is where you see people getting laid off, right? Not apples to apples comparison or whatever, but it's all part of this whole equation, trying to figure out how do you make a business out of video games. The sooner you go in, the sooner somebody isn't buying a new copy, right? Like that's the big concern. That's why GameStop is always like, if you bring this, we sell it to you, we sell it to you on Tuesday, and if you can get it back to us by Monday, you'll get X number because they want it for the next person who's coming in to buy the new game. So, I mean, it's up to you. When I was on the outside, a poor university student, I would flip games in a weekend. You know what I mean? Be done, come back in, trade it, and be done with it. Yeah. So it's up to you.
Yeah. I would also look, if you really want your dollar to stretch far, look at Amazon.
Yeah.
You can trade things on Amazon, and you usually get more money than you can at GameStop.
Yeah. And I think you have to pay attention to DLC release windows, right? Like, people talk about it all the time. That's the big thing to keep you from trading stuff in. Like, why Last of Us announces this stuff and does a season pass, why Bioshock Infinite is out so early talking about it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why they're quiet about The Last of Us on PS4.
Right, yeah. What do we know anything else? Is there any other DLC planned for Infamous Second Son? Is there anything story-wise down the...
Yes.
There is? Okay, so there you go. You can't trade it in.
Oh, one thing I totally forgot.
They need to make a bigger deal about
completely fucking unrelated, but I don't want to forget about this until...
I don't want you to forget.
When I was talking to Gio Corsi about Borderlands 2, I was talking to him about, will there be other bigger games like this on Vita? Are publishers interested? Is this like a test bed? Because this is technically not third-party relations or development's first game. That would be Towerfall. So this is... But this is their Vita testbed game. And
to explain this again...
I'm sorry?
To explain this again to somebody out there who's listening or watching for the first time, third-party relations being that 2K didn't make this game. They made Borderlands 2, then they gave everything to Sony, and they're making it for Vita.
It's what I call my preview, like, rogue third-party games. Like, games that, like, are otherwise not interested in being on Vita. And he categorically said, yes, this has drawn interest. Yes, there are going to be other big games on Vita, and like they will have more to talk about soon.
Bioshock Vita.
So
Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning.
That
would be awesome.
That game was rad.
God, they can pay Rhode Island back with all the money that they make on the Vita.
Rhode Island doesn't deserve that.